time to start like filing charges when things like that happen. And then Cheryl says, we call and the cops don't show up. Dusty says, yeah, the problem was they weren't showing up when we would call 911. Poe says, well, then what you need to do is you need to go to the police station, demand the report. If they refuse, then you go to the county sheriff's office, demand the report there on the fact that they're refusing to take your case. If the county sheriff refuses, then you go to the state police. None of them, Cheryl, Aaron, Jenna, except for the woman who got hit by the car who actually physically went to the police station to get those charges pressed against the guy who hit her with the car, have gone to the police. And then Jerry says, that's one thing that's baffling me, John. Why are the state police there and why not the county sheriff? I feel like Poe was explaining this for a while and I don't know where Jerry was. They're the next step up, right? You know, police, sheriff, then state police, right? That's the one thing that sets an alarm bell off with me. And Poe is like, now there's a comment from Scooter's anti-cult report. And this is the exact quote. It all changed when the other guy was taken to the hospital in respiratory distress. And see Aaron, and right here, this Poe's, I underlined it in red, guys. I mean, why didn't Aaron go to the hospital for burn injuries if hot water was thrown on him? This guy's going to the hospital in respiratory distress. Aaron may have suffered burns. This is the key question. If Aaron was injured by the water, and then Dusty throws in a broken foot from the other incident. Neither time, guys, neither time of these quote-unquote mutual assaults does Aaron file a police report, go to any medical provider to be checked out to document his injuries. Nothing. So as a district attorney, state attorney, as a judge, I'm going to be like, that's suspicious. That's weird. Like, if you're trying to claim mutual battery, but you don't have any injuries, that's the end of your case. That's the end of your case. And Poe brought it up. I just repeat, thank you, Poe. Okay? Like, it's like you can't, it can't be both. You can't be the victim and then never go file your claim. Okay? So then Poe says, you all have an idea of what's going to happen in any situation like that. I mean, to me, it's like watching a professional soccer game. You run by somebody and all of a sudden they're on the ground screaming, you collided with them, right? And that's how a lot of people get the calls on the other guy. They're not really injured. They just get the call. It may be time to rethink things. And is it time to stop playing the nice guy? Stop letting things go and start holding people accountable for the things that they're doing. And you need to be careful because will they give you the same leniency they, are giving the other guy? Sheriff told me this was a comment on the screen. The sheriff told me they do not handle Clearwater business. Well, here's the thing. Look at the state law because most states where the police department fails to do their job, it falls on the county sheriff's department. And if they're not, and the law says they don't have to, then that's where the state police come in because it's their job to investigate. If there's a crime committed by the city police and the city police department's not handling it, then you go to the next level. In most cases, that's going to be the sheriff's. If not, it's going to be the state police. Again, very, 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 very good. Very, very, very good. Shots page, do I think? Oh, wrong one, Jojo. Not going to. Authorities contributed to this. Yes. Because again, you can't claim it's a mutual battery and you never press charges, you never file charges. The only time Aaron has done that is when he apparently got a temporary restraining order on some Scientologist lady or something, the lady who came by a couple times, and he was waiting for her to come by again so he could serve her. You can't serve your own restraining order, by the way, in any state. It has to be served by another. But he brought it with the pizza. That woman's never been served, she's never come back.
And he quote tweets me and says, to accuse a...
I have a whole other opinion on that lady. But that's the only thing that he's done is to get a restraining order on a woman that came by to yell things. House of worship, why does this house of worship have all these cameras around it? Why does this house of worship have these illegal 40-foot buses? But they're hiding something and there is something illegal going on. It's all being covered up by these cameras. So I could do a whole stream on this comment from Dusty. Again, I think that what Dusty's gone out and his volunteering to go and protest every day is wonderful, but I would love to educate him a little bit more on what's going on. Because his general understanding is, I don't think, totally accurate. That's what I'm gonna say. Bo says, here's what you gotta remember in situations like that. Until they have definite proof that these items are being used as criminal reason, like say your boat. Now again, he's talking to Dusty. What does he take his boat out for? Is he licensed to go crab fishing? Is he licensed to go fishing off of his boat? I've never seen it. Therefore, they need to go investigate him, like as if they would start an investigation into Dusty to see if he's a licensed fisherman, right? And those are the things, of course, the Fish and Wildlife would be the one to investigate it, but it's in the same realm of if they don't have some kind of evidence or reasonable suspicion, then they won't, there's no way they can do anything about it. All they can do is start an investigation. But how easy is it to investigate anything to do with Scientology? Every door closes, everyone's mouth shuts. Poe made such great, thank you again, Poe. I'm just going to thank him, he's not here, but great stream, great information from Poe last night. Okay, so let's go over a couple things that I found out. Okay. because I think it's important to understand these things, because who to talk to came up a lot. Okay, so this is what I asked the question: when trying to get a crime investigated in Florida, first step is local police, then who? So the AI says, okay, after contacting local police in Florida, if you are not getting the crime investigated, the next steps typically involve escalating the matter to the local state attorney's office or filing a formal complaint with an internal affairs or oversight agency. So no sheriffs, guys. You go from your local PD in Florida to the state attorney's office.
Placed on the community by highlighting potential consequences of her departure.
I know, she's like, well, if I leave, you'll never meet anyone like me again. I hope not.
And
okay, that's for people in Florida who are wondering why the fuck is you go to your local and then you go to the state. Okay, you can talk to a supervisor, contact the local state attorney's office, file an official complaint, and here's a link here: contact the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Okay, they serve as the investigative arm of the state for certain types of crimes: major drugs, violent crime, public integrity, fraud, especially those that are multi-jurisdictional or complex. They may be able to offer assistance or coordinate with local authorities. So I would say this, when dealing with Scientology, is definitely complex. I would go here, because we know the local attorneys haven't done anything. But in order to keep all your ducks in a row, first go to the local police. If they're not going to open an investigation, go right here. Okay, and I will put a link. Let me copy this link, and we'll paste it right here. Okay, paste it in both chats for you. Oh no, Nora. There we go. Now you guys all have it. Okay. So there's that. Now, the other thing I discovered, okay, and this was the question I asked: what do state troopers investigate in Florida? Okay, and guys, if you're in Florida, and you're protesting, please use Google. Okay, please find out. Look up your local laws. Like I don't even live there, but this is for you guys who are supporting Aaron, and for Aaron, and for anybody else who's planning to go to the Lisa McPherson anniversary, which I highly recommend you go to and support, because that's a very important incident to bring up in Florida with facts. Okay? Like, we gotta keep bringing the facts up about that a woman was murdered inside those buildings, and nothing was done about it. Okay? So I totally support people going out there, but please understand what's happening right now, because we have Florida troopers on the ground. So, Florida state troopers, who are part of the Florida Highway Patrol, okay? So they serve a dual purpose there, similar in Oregon, okay? Our state police are the Highway Patrol. Primarily investigate traffic crashes, especially serious and fatal ones, enforce all traffic and motor vehicle laws on the state highways, and have general statewide arrest powers for violations of state law committed in their presence. Okay? So, like in California, there's kind of like a loophole, right? Where if the highway patrol's on the highway, they don't have jurisdiction in the cities. That's up to the city police. That's why when there's like a car chase and the guy goes off the freeway, they have the city police and the highway patrol file him, and it's kind of like dual. And then they'll have, let's say the guy's going through many jurisdictions. As each jurisdiction falls away, their local police will leave the chase. Okay, but in Florida, those troopers have statewide power. Okay, beyond traffic enforcement, Florida Highway Patrol troopers also have specialized investigative duties through their Bureau of Criminal Investigations and Intelligence.